There's people in my house. Oh, it's you guys. Welcome back to the Inspired Incompetence Podcast. How's everyone doing tonight?
Swell.
I wasn't expecting that. That was a good one.
All right. Well, hopping back into this, last time, you guys ruined this lovely party.
We've done nothing.
There wasn't
really?
a single unsanctioned bee stinging. You're welcome.
Yeah, you say we ruined the party, but even Kakarl didn't stab somebody.
Yeah, that's right.
Much as he tried.
Hashtag just ninja things.
So, whatever damage we did in our escapades to this party, I feel like that pales in comparison to the murder. Excuse me, the murders.
The slaughter.
What's the present tense? The murdering? Because I think it's still happening.
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't really a fair assessment on Matt's part, that we ruined anything.
What? That sounds perfectly fine. That's how I remember
defending myself with saying nobody got stung by bees, but then it kind of like dawned on me where we left off last week.
Last month.
I feel like a bee sting doesn't even stack up against a murdering.
Yeah.
Just so we're all clear, we're still disappointed that Tom didn't get murdered, right?
I know I am. So
close. Just for how incredible that would have been. Yeah. And not because I want to see Tom like pissed off that he lost his character.
No, honestly,
like there's like no like sadism in my desire for Tom's character to have been killed.
It would have been so epic.
It's all for how amazing it would have been.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit disappointed myself. Like the loss of the first character to be that epic, I would have enjoyed that.
Oh, if only. Nope. Instead, you doomed Calbio to die by treacherous murder.
Thanks, Tom.
So yeah, we ended off with a little light slaughtering as the Emperor set his goons to just start hacking away at everyone present at this gala. The last thing you guys remember was absolute utter chaos, as well as your lives being in imminent danger, and then a bright flash of light, and then darkness, which is where we're going to come in. So we head on over to a new map.
Oh, it's so dark.
Indeed. So you guys literally wake up in darkness. You're in a pitch black room.
Okay, it's supposed to be pitch black?
Yep.
Okay. Is it quiet?
It is quiet, but you get the sense that you're not alone in the room.
So so let me correct us there. It's not quiet because we teleport into this room, and anybody who would have already been here would hear silence, and then as we arrive, just hear, no, stop! Where are we?
It was all just a dream.
Where? I can't see it. What's going on? And I'm going to cast Dancing Lights.
Oh man, are we waking up in a tomb again?
Yeah, so I cast Dancing Lights, and I'm just kind of like, where are we? What happened?
You cast Dancing Lights, and the room illuminates. And faded wallpaper lines the walls of this 35-foot by 35-foot room, peeling up at the seams. 6 beds line the western wall, which is where you 4 woke up, each pristinely made, but caked in a thick layer of dust. 8 closed wooden lockers line the northeastern corner of the room, and there are 2 doors that exit the room, one to the north and one to the east.
Now, does the kind of overall appearance, like, does it look like we're still in the palace, just somewhere away from the Senate?
Does it look like we're in like a prison right now?
You're definitely not in a prison, but anyone who has or wants to give me a knowledge history or knowledge local.
Oh, I think I just put a point in there.
Carl got an 18 on his knowledge local.
I got your knowledge local right here.
Oh, man.
Oh, get fucked. I'll take your 18 and make it the 20 version.
Oh,
2018?
2018. I got a 28 on my knowledge local.
Lady and only got a 12 on her knowledge history.
And Vulpus?
A 13 on the local.
So, Carl, well, I'll say right off the bat, you all know that in the millennium-long history of Taldor, the city of Apara has been ransacked and attacked like countless times, and most of those times the Senate ends up being like destroyed or heavily damaged. So the Senate that you were just in for the gala, has actually been built on top of any number of ruins of other Senate buildings. So you could piece together you might be in one of these old versions. Brunswick, you connect this to the Senate age badge that you were wearing. You remember when Martella gave them to you, she told you that, the senators used to give these out to their aides, and they would have certain magical properties. Between your knowledge of that and just what just happened, you would get the idea that there quite possibly could have been a contingency spell laced into these badges.
Oh, that's so cool and thoughtful.
Interesting. So Brunswick, he's still in full panic mode, and he grabs a bunch of his shirt where the badge is, and he kind of looks down, looks at it, and then he looks around at everybody else, and he realizes that it's only the other people who were there wearing those badges that he's been working with are in this room. Is that correct, or is there?
Yep, it's just you four in this room.
And I look around and I say, "It's our badges. They brought us here for some sort of contingency."
Ah.
All right, well, I see a door to my north, so Brunswick is going to walk up to that door and try to open it.
Okay, that door happens to be locked.
I kind of like jiggle, and it's locked, and I slam my fist on the door in frustration.
Vulpus is probably having a little bit of a nervous breakdown, because it could have been him on there if...
moments ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, hold on, sorry. Quick correction. That door is not locked. I was mistaking it with a different one.
Oh.
My apologies.
I slam the door in frustration and it just swings open.
So Vulpus is probably checking his body, making sure he's good. A little bit upset at what he just saw. The person that he took over is now dead.
Yeah. All right, so when this door opens, Brunswick kind of turns around to everybody and he says, "What's the plan here? This door's unlocked."
So it is.
Well, I think we should move forward, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean, and I think that I am ill-suited to be the one to lead that forward movement.
Just then, Carl, acrobatic roll through the doorway, up against the wall, master of sneak. I'll lead the party sneakily.
All right, Carl, you emerge into a 20-foot by 10-foot hallway, and on the far end, looks like it's just a smooth stone wall.
Smooth stone wall, just as I expected.
There's nothing else in the room? It's an empty room?
Brunswick detects magic.
You're not detecting any magic.
Can I roll?
He's going to follow that up with perception.
I was going to do the same thing.
Brunswick got a gentleman's 4.
Ladian got a 21.
Okay. Yeah, you are not seeing anything off about this wall.
All right, well, I'm going to turn around.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied that there's nothing in here.
Yeah, Brunswick has already turned around. When I got that 4 perception, Brunswick's like, this is pointless. Brunswick tries opening the door on the south side of the room.
Okay. Yeah, you open that, and it appears to be a small bathroom.
Oh, thank God. I'll just be a few minutes, everybody. Yeah, no, Brunswick is way too nervous to piss or shit right now. So that he points to the door on the east side of the room, and he says, "It just leaves this one."
Carl's already trying to open it.
The door opens easily, and right beyond that is just another, it's a square. I guess I'll go with Nick's definition of a room, but it seems to just connect this one to the next room because there's just a door on the far side leading further east.
This hallway is very short and rotund.
Another door.
I wait for Carl to show us his stuff and see if he can open 2 doors in a row.
Dude, I don't know. That might be pushing it, but I try.
Yeah, that door opens right up.
I poke my head out and make sure there's no danger.
So Carl, you poke your head in and you see, looks like a storage room. There's like stacked wooden crates all over the southern wall, and more crates occupy the northwest corner. There's some wooden shelves on most of the eastern part of the room, and each tier, like each level of the shelf is filled with like dust-coated like bottles and crockery and glass jars.
Oh, Carl's going shopping. Maybe there's cool stuff in here. Hum-de-dum-dum-dum.
All right. Well, if you want to take a look through, give me a perception check.
I do. That'll be a 13. So how about these shelves? Anything tasty for Carl?
Yeah, Brunswick's going to be doing perception check. I haven't done a perception check yet in this room. He's doing perception checks and also detecting magic.
I'm also going to do detect magic.
Vulpus is also going to do a detect magic.
Well, you're not seeing anything magical.
And what are in these shelves again?
The shelves are covered in just like dust-coated bottles and crockery and glass jars.
Brunswick's gonna take one of the bottles out and look at it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an appraise check.
I got a 12.
Well, looking through this stuff, you pull some stuff off the wall. You look like these are like preserved foodstuffs that were obviously meant to last a while, but not as long as they've been here. Like none of this food is still good.
Can I put some sort of timeline on that? Like, just how long has this stuff been here?
You're not exactly sure, but your best guess would be like centuries.
Okay,
Like it's been a long time.
I'm still on edge, but the initial panic is starting to wear off, and Brunswick is now kind of coming to appreciate like just how old this place is, wherever it is, and he's still ready for someone to come in and just kill him, but he's like looks around the room and he's like, we're standing in history.
Madam Lady, and while everyone's looking around, you see the same thing everyone else does, like pickled vegetables, salted meats, just stuff that's gone bad for being there for so long. But you do find a toolkit among the crates in the southern part of the room that seems pretty well stocked, and the tools within actually seem like they're in decent shape.
Like what kind of tool? Like what tools are in the kit?
Just think like a household
Like a
toolkit.
hammer?
Yeah.
Screwdriver,
Yeah.
saw, a ruler.
Yeah, stuff like that.
While Carl's kind of searching, I'm gonna go up, kind of like behind Carl, and put my hand on his back.
Scare him?
And say, not scare him. Like I'm not trying to sneak up on him. Just kind of like put my hand up on like his shoulder and say, Carl, you better be ready as the most strapping lad here. I expect you to be ready to take on any kind of foe that we might encounter in here. And
Yes.
as I do that, I'm going to implant a mesmerist trick into Carl.
Uh-oh.
And I believe I can choose whether like the person I implanted in actually knows it's in him or not. And I am not going to have Carl know that it's in him.
So,
Okay.
How
so
fun.
he can't fuck up when it triggers.
So,
Well,
Just remove his
I get
agency.
to trigger it. I trigger them, so he can't fuck it up.
Oh, okay.
there are some
But-
that I think might be automatic triggers, but in general, yeah, they're
Yeah.
triggered by the mesmerist.
Got it.
So
it's more just in-game in character. The Madam Lady and doesn't really fucking know Carl, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So like
No one
he may not
does.
like or understand me putting a trick in him, and I'm trying to play up like you're the big strong guy. I'm a little kind of defenseless, protect us.
Yeah.
I take this as a golden opportunity to showcase my ninja prowess, and as I'm looking at these old foods and cured meats and pickled whatever, I'm gonna open them up and just make sure they're not poison. Because if they are poison, I can use them.
So you're gonna start eating them?
Well, not eating them, but
I just got done being like you're the most strapping lad. Protect us. Century old
Yeah.
food. Rom rom rom.
I'm not feasting. I'm just testing. It's not illegal to test.
you open up one of these jars and it just smells rancid. Like,
Oh, that's horrible.
like even Vulpus standing on the other side of the room can like catch a whiff of whatever the fuck you just opened.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
So, yes, Carl, please refrain from opening those They lost their quality ages ago.
Yeah, it's an old ninja trick to hide our stench. I close
our
up the
stench from
thing I
who?
just opened and hope that everyone thinks I'm still cool.
Well, I know that Carl is more learned in ninja tricks than me, so even though it sounds counterintuitive, I'm going to take his word on that, and I'm going to kind of just let the musk settle in.
Wash over
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
I just kind of, oh, well, just like arms like raised halfway, just kind of walk through the stank.
And now with my newfound confidence from the madam, I'm going to draw my nunchuck and approach the other door to the north.
Okay.
Another door, just as I expected.
I'm starting to grow tired of all these different doorways.
But yeah, this is just another hallway. It seems to be about the same as the one on the that led north from where you guys, woke up in here.
Yeah. At this point, it occurs to Brunswick that the magical badges that we have, they allowed for magical communication, right?
Indeed.
But that communication could only be started by
Martella.
what's her name? Yeah. Right?
Yeah. And actually, on that note, as you're walking down this hallway, getting ready to open this door, you do hear her voice in your head. Where did you go? I just saw you and several others in the Senate vanish into thin air.
Lady Martella, we're in some sort of catacombs. I think far below the city. We're trying to get our bearings right now, but I have no idea where we might be.
You don't get any further response from her yet.
I kind of look around nervously, just to make sure that I wasn't the only one that heard her and I'm just going insane.
No, I heard it too. I wonder if she can smell us.
How in the world would she be able to smell us?
I don't know, as I continue opening the door.
I kind of lift the collar of my now probably very stinky shirt and give it a sniff. Oh, maybe she can smell us.
So you open the door, and this leads to, oh look, another room.
Well, I sure hope so.
Poke my head in.
This actually looks like a fairly nice, if, very misused bedchamber. There's heavy wooden bookshelves lining the wall of this opulent bedchamber. A posh chair sits in the northwest corner alongside a small circular table. There's a massive bed and an adjoining table along the eastern side of the room, and there is an open bathroom to the southwest with a bathtub matching the room's opulence, but adding an ignoble odor. Doors exit to the west and then to the south where you came from.
I'm going to detect magic again.
Same.
Yeah, I'm going to sit down.
Just looking around since Carl went right over there. On that round table next to the chair, there is a very ornate-looking gold key.
Is it emitting a magical aura?
It is not.
Oh.
Let's see. The only magic you are detecting is actually coming from the floor, right in the middle of the room.
The floor is magical, or there's something magical underneath the floor?
Yeah.
You're detect if you concentrate on it for a few rounds, you're gonna see that there is a magical effect embedded in the floor, embedded in the stones of the floor.
I'd like to roll spellcraft on that.
Do it up.
I'm going to do the same.
That's a 13.
It's a 15.
And a 23 for Vulpus.
You do not know what this spell is doing.
Brunswick would see Madam Lady and Vulpus all doing the same thing as him, detecting magic. And so when he sees the magical aura on the floor in the middle of the room, and he can't really puzzle out what it does, he just kind of stands there and waits for Vulpus and Madam Lady, and to he waits for a cue from them to see if they understand.
I don't know. I put all my effort into it, if you know what I mean.
Best not mess with it then. And I kind of gesture with my hand for everybody to stay away from that part of the floor.
Okay.
And I'm now going to roll perception for this room.
Okay.
I got an 8.
I got a 20.
Vulpus got a 24.
Carl, are you going to look around, or are you just chillaxing now?
Well, they said watch out for the floor, so I'm going to put my feet up on the table and just relax while they figure stuff out. I got the key after all.
Okay. So Madam Ladian, you, when you kind of like poke your head in the bathroom, you see a scroll case hanging from the railing of the bathtub.
I'll go pick that up and look in it. Is it just a scroll case, or is there actual scrolls in it?
There is a note inside, and if you pull out the note, it is like the paper is like kind of like crumbly and like barely holding together after being here for so long, but you can make out writing on it that says, "Fourth bed from the north, comforter, backup key."
Fourth bed from the north. Oh, is she talking about the beds in the room that we first woke up in?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of us rolled perception in that room.
I don't think so either. 1, 2, 3.
Well, it was
4
so
from
dark.
the north. All right. Well, as of right now, we haven't tried to open the door on the west side to get out of here.
Right.
Okay. So I'll just kind of. It means nothing to me right now. We'll see if that door opens up or not.
Okay.
Is there anything else I noticed in the bathroom?
In the
My
bathroom,
Does
the
my
bathroom-
detect magic cover the bathroom as well?
it does cover the bathroom. There's nothing in there of notice other than like some weird like substance in the tub that kind of smells nasty.
Ooh.
And Vulpus, you notice two things. First, in the wall, like on the outside wall of the bathroom, like the wall that's facing the rest of the room,
Mm-hmm.
you notice a small circular indent in the wall about the size of a coin that you would carry around. It's just like a coin-sized indentation in the wall. And besides that, you also find you're kind of like looking through like the bookshelves that are lining this room, and most of the books in there are tattered and worn and decaying after, centuries of neglect. But you do find one that's still in surprisingly good condition.
I point that out into mostly the indentation. Hey, why don't you guys come take a look at this? I don't know what you make of it, but it almost looks like a place to put a coin.
Brunswick gets right up in there.
What would be the applicable knowledge check?
Give me knowledge engineering.
Damn it.
The one that no one ever puts points into.
Yep. I don't have any ranks in it.
Listen, Brunswick's a lawyer. He doesn't need to know about architecture.
Yeah, and I manage prostitutes, so why would I need to know engineering?
All right, so Vulpus, do you open the book? Or are you just kind of showing it off, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I open the book.
Well, inside, you open the cover, and inside, just like you've seen in countless movies and TV shows, someone has, cut and indentate, cut out the center, and they had stuck something into
to
it.
hide their Game Boy in their math book?
Yeah. But inside is a small, curved, rectangular piece of glass.
Oh. Do I think that would fit into the hole?
No.
Oh.
That hole is definitely it's round. It's like it's the best way to describe it, it's the size of a coin, maybe $50 or something like
We
that.
could make a square peg fit in a round hole.
Says the prostitute.
Oh, if you know what I mean.
I resemble that remark.
Well, I mean, things are getting a little bit weirder. Coin slots in the wall, and now little glass round squares.
What are you talking about?
Inside books. Come look at this now.
I turn around and look at what fresh bullshit Vulpus has uncovered this time.
It really is fresh bullshit.
Yeah, like I said, he opens the book and you can see there's a cutout space in there, and there's this slightly curved rectangular piece of glass in it.
Okay. Can it be removed?
Yeah,
Can I look through it with my eye?
There's a
you can.
prism.
Everything looks a little wobbly.
Can I make a knowledge check on it? Or detect magic? I would have picked up the magical aura if it had one, I think. Right?
Give me a knowledge arcana check.
Yes. Oh! 27. 27. Suck my dick.
All right. So you're examining this thing, and like you're not exactly sure what it does, but you get the sense that it is a part of another item, like another. You think it needs to be combined with something else to make it function.
Oh.
So I get the feeling that this is just a piece of some puzzle.
Yep.
Okay. This seems to be about a piece of some larger apparatus.
That key that Carl picked up, is there any like markings on it or anything like specific that we should be looking at? Engravings?
Yeah.
As far as you can tell, it is just an ornate key.
All right. Well, I think we're feeling a little bit cramped. Let's move forward.
After you, Carl.
Well, I've got a new side quest to find the hole that fits this key, so if there's like a chest, an ornate chest with treasure, perhaps?
I mean, that would be nice. I bet you Matt would have probably told us about the chest when we first looked around the room.
Yeah, maybe it's on the other side of this door.
Oh, okay. Well, I pop off and avoid the floor is lava. And where's the door?
It's on the
We
west.
just jumped away from it.
Yeah.
He's just
jump back to
parkouring
it.
his way to the door.
You go through this door, and you find yourselves in another hallway about 25 feet by 10 feet. And another door on the far side.
Let's keep opening.
Okay, you open this door, you take a peek inside, and a wooden counter juts out from the northwest corner of this 30 by 30 chamber. Open cabinets of dusty liquor bottles stand behind the bar, while one cabinet remains tightly sealed with a visible lock. Three tables with adjacent chairs fill much of the room. Portraits of posing nobles and historical scenes adorn the walls, all faded with age. There is only one door to this room, the one you just came through.
Carl is going
Carl
to...
immediately hops from chair to table to chair to table, avoiding the floor, over to the lock.
Brunswick is going to make a beeline for the liquor cabinet. Just under his breath, he's just, finally.
Vulpus rolls a perception.
Ooh.
Yeah. And got a 25.
Okay.
I detect magic.
All right, so Vulpus, when you're looking around behind the bar, you find like a drawer as you're kind of looking through. And in that drawer, you find what looks like a magic wand and a spoon that actually looks worth something. Madam Ladian, you're detecting magic, and you notice that the locked cabinet behind the bar is giving off like a very faint, like a very, very faint aura. Like you get the idea that it's like magically treated wood. It's not like a specific spell, it's just like magically preserved. And also the spoon and wand that Vulpus pulls out of that drawer are radiating magic.
I'd like to spellcraft.
I'm going to spellcraft along with him.
How about Brunswick? He's been staring at that liquor cabinet for...
Oh yeah, you find a lot of it has kind of like soured or just gone away, but there are 2 bottles of whiskey with like the wax seal still intact that you think might still be good.
All right, well, Brunswick's not going to waste any time, and he breaks the seal of one of the bottles. And gives
Wait! Wait! It might be poison. Let me try it first.
He looks like he wants to take a sip real bad, but then he comes to his senses and he hands the bottle to Carl.
Carl, being the master poisoner and a dude who likes to party, takes a drink.
I watch Carl with rapt attention.
Yeah, Carl, it just seems like really nice whiskey.
I spit it out. No! This is poison of the highest caliber.
Smash
Snake
it.
venom.
Smash the bottle.
I'm gonna need a
I'll
bluff
hold on
check
to
for
this
that one.
later.
Yeah, I'm rolling sense
Technically,
motive.
isn't drinking alcohol like your poison?
Shut up,
yourself?
Nick. He's bluffing.
I'm just joking. I say, that's actually pretty good. Here, I think you'll do well to have some with me.
Oh,
And I hand it back to him.
appreciate it, Carl. And I take a sip, and I I'm sure it's very good, but Brunswick is he's really a wine kind of man. So he appreciates the edge being taken off, but wishes it was wine.
I have a question for Brunswick. Well, not for Brunswick, but I guess for you. Does it seem like Brunswick is like an alcoholic, or he just likes a good drink when he's stressed?
Brunswick seems like he gets stressed real easily, and he also seems like he's kind of set in certain habits. He's certainly not an alcoholic, but he's
close.
I wouldn't even say he's close. It's more like it's a thing he's used to having when he's stressed, and when he doesn't have it, he gets more stressed.
Classic addiction.
He's still in the denial stage.
He's
Gotcha.
prepared to describe it in any way that can kind of sidestep that word addiction.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Wink.
But I mean, he's not like, I don't know, like maybe it's kind of addiction, but like he's still pretty picky about it. Like he's not.
I get it.
He's not like, oh, finally alcohol, glug glug glug. He's like,
right.
It's not wine, but yeah, he's kind of like sipping it a little bit. He's not really like enjoying it as much as he wants to.
Okay. So you each rolled. So yeah, you guys are able to identify the wand as a wand of create food and water.
Oh God.
Oh.
I don't like what that implies.
Yeah, wait a minute. Are we going to need that this campaign? I thought we were supposed to do this one to get a break from that.
But neither of you are able to identify the properties of the spoon.
Brunswick kind of like
Really?
he puts the bottle down. He like looks around. He sees that Vulpes and Madam Lady are kind of like huddled around these two items, like trying to figure out what they are, and he realizes he just kind of bumbled into this room without even like looking around at what else there was. He just saw the liquor. He says, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. What do we have over here?"
Well, trade you for the liquor for the spoon here.
Yeah, sure, of course. A spoon? Let me see. So I got an 18 on my spellcraft.
That is not enough. You are unable to figure out what this spoon does.
Oh, man. But that was just for the wand. Now I'm going to do spellcraft for the spoon.
No.
Oh, man. All right. There's some very complicated magic woven into this spoon. It's quite vexing.
And I wonder what's in that cabinet over there with the lock.
Yes, Carl found that key, right? Carl, son, why don't you try that lock?
I'm already trying it. That's the first thing I did. I saw
Try
the
harder.
lock, and then I jumped over to it.
The key that you found on the table does not seem to fit this lock.
I think I might know where the key for this lock is. And at this point, I will pull out the little note and read it aloud to them.
As you pull out the note, I pull out the nunchuck, thinking that we're going to bust this thing open. But then you start reading? Oh.
Well, I'm not sure you're going to be able to bust it open. It seems like at one point there was a strong magic on the cabinet, but you could try.
I'll give it one try.
Roll some damage. Huh? Roll the attack with some damage.
10.
Well, it's a cabinet. You hit it. How much damage did you do?
Yes.
7, baby.
Yes.
You bash this cabinet, and it is not affected in the least.
I give Carl like a very mild sneer of disappointment when he doesn't open it.
Get a little bit of whiskey in him, and he gets sassy all of a sudden.
Well, I'm not going to try again because I don't want to look like a fool fighting a cabinet, but I did try, so can't say I didn't.
I'm going to go back to our first room and see if possibly the key is under one of those mattresses.
Brunswick looks to the other two to see what they're going to do.
Carl gets the sudden feeling that he's made 3 left turns and comes over to this wall over here.
Vulpes gonna chill out at a table with his new liquor.
Yeah, it's a wall.
Just as I expected. I'm going to put my ear to it and see if I can hear anybody. For a while, not like, do I hear anyone right now? But as they're going back, I'm just going to be like, Do I hear?
Brunswick, he kind of looks around. He says, should we perhaps stay in a group?
Oh, too late.
I-
I'm in the
Yeah,
other
like-
room already.
Oh, I know. Like Brunswick is like he's like looking like at the door that Madame Lady and just disappeared through, like just all sorts of trepidation. He's like looking back at Vulpus and Carl, and then back to the open door again.
Keep in mind that we're still on assignment from the Masked Brotherhood. If he doesn't make it back, maybe he doesn't belong in him.
Keep in mind that we were told to work together on our assignment. If that's the card you'd like to play, maybe you should remember all of our instructions.
My instruction was to figure out who was a traitor.
Yes, and so far we've been assaulted with all sorts of people down here that could be possible traitors. You're doing a great job. And I turn around and I kind of speed walk out the door back to try to catch up with Madame Ladian.
Meanwhile, Madame Ladian.
Can I take
and
a
I-
10 on my perception check?
I will add, by the way, that the dancing lights can't go farther than 10 feet from another dancing light.
I'll cast my own dancing lights. Once I realize yours don't come with me.
Yeah. So when I leave the room, Vulpus
light goes
and,
with it.
and Carl do not retain their dancing lights.
As much as I like the darkness, I only like the skirt of the darkness. I don't like full darkness when I can't see anything.
Oh
so.
yeah, you never want to go full darkness.
No, I'll come running after as soon as I realize that I'm being left alone in the dark. Not that I'm afraid of the dark, just
You bump your shin on a chair running out because it's dark.
I mean, everyone
that's
knows
fine.
ninjas operate better in like the middle of the day than at night.
no. It's the between the light and the dark. It's a very tensile line.
Matt, what was your? Can I take a 10 on my perception check?
Well, with that note in hand, like, you don't even need the perception check. The note says, like, sewn into the comforter of that fourth bed from the north is a hidden key. So, like, you take a minute or two and you're like feeling around that comforter and you can feel a key sewn into it.
All right. Well, then when I like find out where it is, so it's sewn in, right? I'll open up my cane to reveal that it's a cane sword and cut a little slash so I can get it out of the comforter.
Okay, yeah, you now have a key.
Nice. And I will return my cane back, hopefully before anyone else makes it into this room.
It's just as soon as you put the cane back and you turn to the door, you see Brunswick walking in.
I'd like to make a sleight of hand check to make sure that he didn't see me like close up my cane, and also kind of like toss the comforter in a way so that it doesn't immediately expose that there's a hole cut in it.
Okay, so Brunswick, I'll need a perception from you.
Okay.
I got a 19, and I'll like kind of turn around as I see Brunswick come in and say, "Oh, here's the key, right where that said it would be."
Oh, that's good. I'm sorry that you had to make the trip back by yourself, Madame Ladian.
It was barely a trip at all.
Still, we have no idea where we are and what dangers lurk. Try not to be so hasty next time.
Well, given we had already been in these rooms, I felt it was fairly safe to know there was nothing here.
So,
Alright.
I guess with that, we would start walking back, and probably bump into Carl at some point on our way.
Oh yeah, that's what I was just going. Oh, did you think I was? And then I start going back the way that I just came from.
There you go.
I give Carl a hand on the shoulder as we pass.
As the lights come in, like you see Vulpus just chilling out on a chair.
I say, Vulpus, any traitors? Full report.
Nope, doesn't seem like there was anything else going on, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Ladian kind of gives Brunswick this puzzled look and thinks to herself, I was gone 10 minutes and he's in charge now? Getting reports, giving kudos out, but she's not going to say anything. Just think it and go over to the the lock and see if this key fits.
Yeah, you head over. It's like kind of behind the bar. You head over to that like magically enhanced cabinet, and this key does indeed open it.
Oh, perfect.
Hey.
I bet you it's empty, right?
Wouldn't that be a bitch? No, you open the cabinet. Like it's like two doors. You pull them open, and inside is what looks like a big immovable crystal ball. Like it's built into the wall behind this cabinet.
Detect magic?
It is detecting very faintly as magic, but looking at it, there is very obviously a piece missing.
Oh,
key.
really? Is it like a rectangular piece?
Yeah.
It is roughly like that.
Was Vulpus in possession of that?
Yes, he was. Vulpus walks over and puts it in.
You slide that rectangular piece into the top of the device, and you hear just like a very low hum, and anyone who's still detecting magic immediately sees this thing kind of like come alive. Like it just starts like glowing with a magical aura as soon as you put that piece in there.
Yeah, spellcraft the shit out of that.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Does
Only
it?
got a 7.
Yeah, Brunswick's also going to spellcraft.
So is Vulpus.
Brunswick got a 23.
Vulpus got a 11.
Okay. So yeah, Madame Ladian and Vulpus, you have no idea what it does, but Brunswick with your 23, you come to the realization that it's a crystal ball. It's usually it's used in different scrying types of magics, so you get the idea that this one is built to scry on something, probably something specific.
Oh. Can I activate it?
You can.
No way.
I activate it.
Looking into the ball, you see it seems to be looking at that southern wall in like the storage room where all the crates and stuff were. Like it seems to just be looking at all of like the crates and junk that are piled up against that southern wall.
Doesn't make much sense. I say, this is a crystal ball. It's meant for scrying, for viewing distant people and places. It's configured specifically to look into that storage space that had all the old wasted food, specifically the southern wall where all the crates are. I don't understand why that would be so important.
Maybe there's another structure over there that we have to place this crystal into.
Is the crystal ball removable?
It is not. It is like built into the wall.
Is the glass object that we placed in there?
Yeah, you could take that back out.
Maybe this might be a key over there as well.
Well, before you remove it, let's see what happens if someone goes and stands in the storage room while Brunswick views through the crystal ball.
Brunswick does not like the idea of splitting up again, but he doesn't say anything.
Vulpus goes with Lady.
I guess Brunswick just kind of hangs out in the bar. Does Brunswick still have that bottle of whiskey? Or,
No, I think Vulpus had it last.
Yeah, I think you left it with Vulpus when you and Madame Ladian left this room initially.
All right, well, Brunswick grabs the second bottle that nobody picked up and breaks a seal on that, and he starts sipping that nervously while he watches the crystal ball.
All right. Well, as you're watching the crystal ball, you see the room light up as Vulpus and Madame Ladian walk in, followed by their dancing lights. And yeah, as you approach, you're watching them from behind, and they walk up, and they're looking at those crates. Madame Ladian and Vulpus, give me perception checks now that you're back there.
15.
And that's a 18 for Vulpus.
All right, so the two of you get here. You're looking around, and you're like, at first you're just looking at these crates, like, what the hell is it looking at the crates for? And then it occurs to you, like, it's not looking at the crates; it's looking at the wall. So you move a couple of crates out of the way, and you get a better look at the wall, and you can see there's actually a very old fresco painted on the wall. It's just kind of coated in dust, and it was hard to see unless you were really looking for it.
I'm gonna cast prestidigitation to get all the dust away.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, I have trouble with some words, so you gotta make fun of me. Fucking dick.
All right, yeah, you cast prestidigitation.
You can't say that.
And yeah, you clean off the layer of dust that had caked its way on there. And let's see, you can give me. Oh, you don't even need a knowledge. This one is like pretty obvious. This fresco seems to depict some Taldan knights, both mounted and otherwise, fighting against some dwarves. And you would know this is like basic Taldan history. You know this is a scene from the 4th Taldan expeditionary force.
Was that a good expedition for us?
Yes, you would know that in Taldan history, they have only had one, like, quote, expeditionary force, which is like their conquering armies that actually came back in failure, and the 4th was not that one. So, you know, this is like one of like the bigger expansions of the Taldan Empire when they conquered what is now like Andorran, parts of Galt, and the Five Kings Mountains.
Okay. And just for my own curiosity, which excursion was the failure one?
I believe it was the 6th.
Okay. Just store that back there. Maybe it'll come up at some point.
Yeah, I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it was the 6th. I know it was the one that went like south towards like Osirian and down that way. So you've kind of cleaned off this fresco, but at least from where Brunswick is sitting, a lot of it is still being blocked by those crates.
Yeah, I'll start moving them. Oh, well,
right.
Where he is.
Yeah, Vulpus will help out.
All right. So yeah, it takes you guys a bit. So like some of these are heavy; they've been here for a while, but you're able to push and drag them out of the way to get a view of the whole fresco. And as they do that, Brunswick, you once they move like one of the last crates, you see that a portion of the fresco is actually glowing in the crystal ball as you're viewing it.
Interesting. What does that mean?
I don't know. But I do know that Metalanian and Vulpus do not see any glow on the fresco.
What part of the fresco is glowing?
I don't know. It's kind of like in one of the bottom, not the corners, but in the bottom towards the western part of the room. It's like a horse's mane on one of the Taldan knights.
Can I glean any meaning from that?
You can try.
Vulpus actually goes back to like mid-room between...
Get like a full view of it?
Well, no. Vulpus is going to B3 right now to see if he can like kind of communicate information. So Vulpus goes, "Hey, do you see anything with that scrying over there?"
Brunswick shouts, "Vulpus, why don't you come in here really quick?" Carl would hear him like kind of muttering, like, "I can't believe I didn't think to do this before."
Vulpus goes rushing over.
Carl comes rushing similarly.
So once Vulpus is in the room, Brunswick casts a message on him and Carl and Vulpus. And he says, "There, you can go back with Madam Lady, and we can relay information freely."
Oh, okay.
No, Carl, you stay in here.
Just kidding.
Just don't leave me alone.
Hey, give me some of that drank, Vulpus, before you run out of the room.
I'm already out.
I'll get you next time.
Brunswick offers Carl some of his bottle.
I take the bottle and turn 180 degrees and fumble in my pockets.
What?
Just looking for a cup, but I don't have any.
Oh.
I take a swig and give it back.
Brunswick kind of gives you a look and then just like very roughly puts the bottle back on the bar counter.
That's ninja humor for you.
I don't get it. Brunswick turns back and continues to try to glean some information, and he whispers to Vulpus, part of the fresco is glowing from the perspective through the crystal ball.
Should we be detecting magic with that then?
I think we already tried when we were in the room, and it didn't detect this magic.
Yeah, that's all the information I have for you. If there's some sort of knowledge check I'm supposed to roll. The GM is being frustratingly coy about it.
Where is this magic emanating?
I describe to Vulpus where the glowing is from. And to reiterate, I'm not sure if it's magic. It's just, there's just a glow happening, and I describe where it is.
Vulpus runs his hand across the depiction where it is shimmering to
Where Brunswick describes it to be.
Where Brunswick described it.
So as soon as Vulpus touches that spot that was described, that glow fades. And Brunswick, you see another glow appear, and it looks like it's like one of the axe heads for one of the dwarves that they're fighting against.
It occurs to Brunswick that he can force Vulpus into all sorts of embarrassing contortions as he tells him to touch several places on the wall at the same time, but he keeps that to himself.
Some drunken musings.
He just takes a moment to revel in the power that he holds. But then he says, yes, that glow has vanished at your touch, and now I'm seeing a glow on the dwarf's axe, and I specify which dwarf.
Vulpus tells Ladian, touch that axe, I guess.
That axe, though.
Kind of puzzling. She reaches up and touches the axe. Why am I touching this axe?
And when Madame Ladian touches the axe on the fresco, that glow also fades, and another glow appears, and it is like one of the lances of one of the Taldan knights.
Ah, yes, now we're getting somewhere. Quickly, touch the lance on the being held by the Taldan knight.
Are you just messing with me right now?
There's no time, Vulpus. Touch the lance now. Stroke it
I touch
vigorously. Faster. Now 2 hands.
No hands.
Stroke it with no hands. Use nothing but your tongue, Vulpus.
So Vulpus goes and touches that glowing lance, and
With his tongue.
no. And once again, as soon as he touches that spot, the glow fades, and another glow appears on like a dwarven helmet. And then touching that one, another one, like that one fades, and another one appears. And finally, after touching a glow emanating from the crown atop the Taldan King's head, that light fades, and Vulpus and Madame Ladian, the fresco in front of you just opens up, like the wall itself opens up, revealing a small nook right behind it.
Now, you should see a small nook that just opened up.
Yes, we could see that.
Oh,
Thank
okay,
you.
good. Didn't want to take any chances.
In this little nook, there is just a small pouch. When you pick it up, you hear the telltale clink of coins.
All
Peek in
of
it.
this for some coins?
Yeah.
Vulpus.
Detect magic.
Yeah, like there's
There's that coin-shaped depression outside the
True.
bathroom.
You detect magic, and yeah, the coin, like all of the coins inside, light up to your senses.
Really? You gotta roll a spellcraft.
Does detect magic work through the crystal ball?
It does not.
Damn it.
17 for Vulpus.
15 for Ladian.
Vulpus, you realize that these coins are the foci for a conjuration effect, but that is all that you are getting from it. Madame Ladian, you seem to be kind of stumped.
Well, I think we got what we wanted, I guess.
I think we should try and put one of those in the coin-shaped indentation in the wall.
That was my idea.
I will say, it is a conjuration, which makes me a little bit nervous, but I am equally curious.
Conjuration can be teleportation.
Still makes me nervous.
Yeah. When Brunswick sees them walking away from the wall, he leaves his post and he goes to meet them in B3. He gives Carl another hand on the shoulder as he passes. He says, I think we can finally get out of here.
Well, all right then.
And
I say, as I have contributed almost nothing.
Brunswick then doubles back and he grabs the bottle of whiskey off the counter and holds it close.
If you will, Brunswick, can you take a look at these coins here and see if your eyes see anything
Of course.
that we may have missed?
And that's 25.
All right, Brunswick, you're looking at these coins. Like, you pick one up, you're looking at it, you're turning it over, and you can see the little sigils that are drawn and placed on each of these coins, and you recognize that they are exactly what would be needed to trigger a phase door spell.
Okay. Do I get the feeling that they're meant to be put into this coin-shaped depression?
Well, here's the phase door spell, since it's a pretty good spellcraft. The phase door creates an ethereal passage through wooden, plaster, or stone walls, but not other materials. It's invisible and inaccessible to all creatures except the caster, and only the caster can use the passage. You disappear when you enter it and appear when you exit. If you desire, you can take one other medium or smaller creature through the door. This counts as 2 uses of the door. It does not allow light, sound, or spell effects through it, nor can you see through it without using it. But there is a contingent. You can allow other creatures to use the phase door by setting some triggering condition for the door. Such conditions can be as simple or as elaborate as you desire. So it could be something like placing a specific enchanted coin in a nice coin-shaped hole in the wall.
Yes, I see. They're meant to be taken rectally. You first, Vulpus.
I'm gonna let the madam go first, if you know what I mean.
Looking for a free show now?
Vulpus says, yes, these coins seem to be some sort of a focus for a phase door spell. If I'm correct, we need only place a coin in this depression and the way forward should reveal itself.
Well, let's not wait any longer.
Yes, Carl, yes. Where did you run off to?
Guinea pig.
I mean, I didn't say it like that, but...
Oh, expendable. I mean, essential one.
But if the
It's a
harness
ninja's
fits-
sworn duty.
To be fair, he was like testing shit for poison, so he kind of put himself in that position.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I take the coin that I was holding for the spellcraft check, and I take Carl's hand, so it's like palm up, and I like place the coin in his palm and like close his fingers around it. And I say, "You first, son."
Yes. Okay. I look around like, one last chance for someone else to do it. Here we go.
All right. So, Carl, you place the coin in the indentation in the wall.
Stealthily.
Sure.
With my non-dominant ninja hand.
And when you do that, you kind of turn around and you see what looks to be like a staircase appears pretty much right in the middle of this room, where the actual letters like B3 are in the room, like right at the foot of the bed. It appears to be a staircase leading down.
Hey.
And that's where that magical
Staircase.
aura was coming from?
Yes.
The floor isn't lava. The floor is staircase.
Yep. But I will say right now, Carl is the only one that sees that staircase.
Oh, so I'm just a madman?
What do you see, son?
You guys don't see that right there? There's stairs.
The floor?
Yeah, but instead of floor, there's stairs. Here, and I'm gonna try and walk down them.
Yeah, Carl, you walk down the stairs, and everyone else sees Carl like descending into the stone floor.
No fucking way.
Really?
Oh, it's so cool.
Brunswick nods in understanding, takes a coin for himself and places it into the... Wait, what happened to the coin that was in the depression?
Like it like the coin itself like falls out as soon as Carl lets it go. But if you detect magic on it, you can see that it is no longer magical.
Okay.
It's just
Does
a
it
gold
have
piece.
Does it have
Pick that
monetary value besides that?
I mean, these are coins that are pretty much ancient at this point.
So the
Like, there might be
that's
some-
a lot.
There
Yeah,
might be some collector value, but like they're you're not gonna be able to go and spend them like gold pieces.
Okay. I see Madam Lady and scoop it up, nod approvingly, and then I put my own coin into the depression, and I make sure to pocket that one.
And I'm
Okay.
going to follow suit and also pocket mine.
Well, I sure hope I don't need mine, as I'm already past these stairs through the floor.
Vulpus follows along.
All right. So one by one, you guys descend the staircase.
I don't know if I like that we're going deeper in an already like catacomb situation.
That is a valid concern.
As you guys are descending these stairs one by one, you get another message from Martella. And you hear her saying, Gloriana Maria's allies from the Pathfinder Society secured us a way out of the Senate building. This is an organized force.
Is she talking to us?
You get the feeling she's trying to keep you kind of updated on what's going on, because she has no idea where you guys are, but she's trying to keep you at least appraised of where she is going.
It sounds like she's still in the thick of it.
She was. She is.
Interesting. Okay, so she had nothing to do with us being teleported away.
So it would seem.
Interesting. Merle Brunswick turns to his fellow explorers. So what do you suppose happened at the party?
It wasn't my fault.
No, I wasn't saying it like that, Carl. I don't know. The king just murdered that poor lad. And who are all of those cloaked figures who just showed up and just seemed to be just attacking indiscriminately?
I do fear we might have seen the beginning of a civil war for Taldor.
Perhaps his prenogeniture nonsense was a bit more serious than I gave it credit for.
Although it sounds like the princess and the mass brotherhood took it quite seriously.
Well, it sounds like Madame Lothide wasn't behind our removal. I'm sorry to say, but I wouldn't have considered any of us important enough to grant special evacuation circumstances to, and that sort of event. Madame Lothide before us, I would assume, but it sounds like she's still there. She's still hiding, escaping.
Who gave us these brooches?
Yeah, it was her. So I don't know whoever granted us this safe passage. I'm cautiously calling it now. They did not see fit to grant Madame Lothide the same service. But why?
Well, I don't want to throw out any rumors, but between the four of us, if we're here and she's there, maybe there might be a little bit of backstabbing happening on her part. Just a theory.
So you think that she is simply maintaining a charade with us right now?
But
I mean,
for what purpose? The Emperor and her are working together? She gained nothing. She had won the vote.
when you joined the Masked Brotherhood, was it to remain hidden in the shadows? Or was it to seek something a little bit more?
Certainly to seek more.
I'm certain that if my theory is correct, maybe there was a little bit more for her to gain via backstabbing.
But then why not let us just get slaughtered with everyone else?
Yes, and why hire us to sway votes against the king in the first place?
Well, the Masked Brotherhood knew that we were here. Therefore, if we did not show back up, and she managed to escape as well, no harm, no foul. And we aren't witnesses.
It seems like a lot of trouble to go through. I don't think any of us would have stood any chance if we were left in that palace. I think we would have been slaughtered just the same.
Which is why they wouldn't want the investigation. Or she wouldn't want the investigation. Anyway, there's only one path to take at this point.
I agree. As vexing a problem as this is, I see no reason to continue talking about it until we have more information.
Yeah, so you guys are still on the staircase on the other side of this phase door spell. And ahead of you, you can see a small landing. And you can see like a brass lever on the wall ahead of you.
Oh, sounds like a job for Carl.
I close my eyes and pull the lever.
All right. So Carl pulls the lever. And the scene fades.
Oh.
And we've got a flashback.
Ooh.
Oh.
All
I didn't know
right.
we were doing those.
The Axel special, I see.
But only I can do flashbacks.
Too bad.
Who gave you the right?
So, before the scene opens, you can hear a gavel. The Senate stands in recess until Moon Day, the 6th of Farast, intoned Senator Tiberian, signaling an end to the week's proceedings. Most of the senators in the chamber stood and began shuffling toward the exits, eager to return to their manors in the city or to begin their journey to their home estates for the weekend. Eros Glendower, however, did not rise from his seat. Head lowered, Eros appeared to be deep in thought, poring over the papers splayed before him on the desk, and a rat sitting perched on his shoulder, also seemingly studying the documents. As the other senators began filing out of the chamber, the rat nips at Eros's ear, startling the young senator awake. Blinking and looking around, mildly confused, Eros flushes with color, hoping none of the other senators notice his little nap. After gathering up his papers and stuffing them into a folder, the young senator gives the rat on his shoulder a quick pat on the head and whispers, "Thanks, Dagio," before standing up to leave the chamber himself. Several clusters of senators had gathered in the hall outside the Senate chamber to gripe about some piece of proposed legislation or other, or perhaps to debate with someone whose mind would not sway. Eros Glendower ignored them all and quickly made his way to an almost hidden staircase leading down into the bowels of the Senate building itself. "These ignorant cretins have no idea what real power is, Dagio," Eros says to the rat on his shoulder as he descends down the stairs. "Power has nothing to do with their meaningless laws, their archaic traditions. They think the mere circumstance of their birth makes them better than these idiot peasants they deign to rule over. Ha! Fools, the lot of them!" Down in the basement, Eros whispers a quick incantation, and a ball of light appears in the palm of his hand. Even with the light, the door Eros opens is difficult to find in the dark corner of this musty basement. Beyond, even more stairs descend into the darkness below. Eros begins his descent without hesitation, clearly having done so many times before. "The Circle knows what true power is, Dagio," he continues, talking to the rat as he continues his descent. "Life and death are the only forces that truly matter in this world. Control of these forces is all that matters. The Circle knows, and if I am to join them, to rule them, I too must gain control over these forces and conquer death itself." The rat on Eris's shoulder keeps his attention trained on the young man, paying close attention to concepts that are far above its comprehension. At the bottom of the long staircase, Eros enters a long abandoned but surprisingly intact set of chambers. Long ago, he had discovered that the current Senate building was actually built atop the ruins of previous Senate buildings that had fallen into disfavor or been severely damaged in wars over the many centuries of Taldor's history. Better yet, he had found that no one else knew, or at least no one else cared, that the Senate chambers were down here, making them the perfect place for him to conduct his research. Passing through a waiting room, Eros opened another door and entered the old Senate chamber itself, a circular amphitheater with rows of benches rising up and around a central area. The room was designed like a gladiatorial arena, but the combat fought here was one of high-minded rhetoric rather than common blood sport. It was here that Eros conducted his research. Tossing the folder in his hand carelessly on a table, Eros carefully took the rat from his shoulder and set it down before unfurling a scroll to study its contents one more time. He was certain he could have recited the words on the scroll from memory, but this day was too important to leave anything to chance. "This is the day, Dagio. I've finally worked out the ritual, and all of the regents have had time to mature. All of my research, all of my planning, all of my work has led me here. I will be the youngest member initiated into the Inner Council and show them all how wrong they were to discount the genius of Eros Glendower." In the center of the arena floor, there is drawn an 8-pointed star surrounded by a circle, with almost every open space filled with a carefully drawn rune. The glyph was barely noticeable in the gloom of the chamber, but its presence felt to Eros like a watchful eye over his shoulder at all times. Eros removes 9 candles from the table, each one infused with a specific material necessary for the ritual. One by one, he places the unlit candles around the perimeter of the glyph, where the points of the star meet the circle. He keeps the 9th candle in hand as he stands just outside the circle examining his work. Everything had to be perfect. The rat, Dagio, scurries down from the table and over to stand at his master's feet, squeaking excitedly. Eros smiles down at the creature but does not move to pick it up. Instead, he motions for it to stay as he takes a deep, steadying breath. He solemnly fastens a porcelain mask over his face, fashioned specifically for the ritual. Stepping into the circle, he takes extra care not to disrupt any part of the pattern. From the center of the glyph, Eros turns to examine his work one final time, ensuring that every rune is in place, that every line is straight and precise. Satisfied, he whispers a word, and the candle in his hand lights. From just outside the circle, Dagio the rat watches its master as he begins the incantation. Obsicro Universi Imperium. The glyph on the ground at Eros's feet glows as the words of the ritual call power into the chamber. Dagio flinches back slightly from the sudden glow. Procula rogo vim. A breeze begins to swirl around the chamber, all the more strange for how far underground it is. Vita cum execratione maledicta congessit. All at once, the candles at the edge of the glyph burst alight, flames larger than they had any right to be. Wax drips down Eros's hand from the candle he holds. Non est responsum mortis. The flames from the candles extend sideways, joining with one another to form a ring of fire around the outside of the circle. Dagio's eyes widen in fear. Fear of the flames and fear that his master will succumb to the fire and leave him alone again. Ego sum dominus vitae et mortis. The fire spreads downward, racing along the carefully drawn lines of the glyph and bathing the entire chamber in flickering light. Dagio's fear of the flames is starting to give way to his concern for his master. Audite me et respirande vacatio. The flames rose and grow in intensity to the point where the rat can no longer see his master. Growing nervous, it takes a step towards the flame, determined to do what he can to protect Eros. Hoc est opus hora mea. No longer bearing the shape of the glyph, the flames grow to a swirling inferno. Overwhelmed with concern, the rat rushes headlong into the fire, desperate to save his master. Dona mihi animam aether. Eros's voice is nearly drowned out by the roaring inferno as the rat slowly draws closer. His final words are cut off as a surge of mystical energy flashes, dousing the flame with a blinding blue light. The rat staggers forward, barely able to see, yet desperate to find his master. At the center of the burnt circle, there is not a trace of the ambitious Eros Glendower. Where he stood, there remains only a small pile of ash. Interesting, the rat thinks to himself, studying the ash for a moment before taking a bit of it in his paw and drawing a single, perfect circle on the ground. The circle is the key. And then we come back as Carl is flipping this switch, pulling this lever.
Jeez. I'm not sure I was ready for all that.
All right, so Carl flips this lever in the wall, and a nice chunk of what seemed like the wall in front of you just opens up, opening into a larger chamber.
You did it, Carl.
I did. What did I do?
We'll go
I
see.
poked my head through.
So you look through this, and you see chiseled stone statues of Taldan phalanx soldiers stand atop plinths in the outer corners of this room, visible from any point in the ominous hall. Sturdy wooden doors line the outer edge of the hall, 2 to the east, 2 to the west, and 1 to either side of you on the southern wall. You see a single large door to your north, and yeah.
More doors, just as I expected.
Once Carl says that it's safe, Brunswick enters the room.
Once you start walking around a little bit too, you would pretty quickly notice a corpse. Let's see, it is off to the west when you enter the room. like not too far from that first door to the south.
Does it look like a fresh corpse?
It does.
Brunswick does like a double take when he sees the corpse, and he like holds his hand up to his mouth, and he's there's a body. And he moves away from it, and he looks away from it.
Is there a knowledge check of some sort, or?
I mean, right now it's a dead body. If you want to go examine it, you can do that and give me a heal check.
Vulpus is going to take out his rapier, poke the dead body.
It makes Brunswick even more uncomfortable. That you're prodding it with a sharp object. He's just imagining like the flesh just oozing as the rapier pierces it. Ugh.
So Vulpus walks over and starts poking the dead body with his rapier. And as he is doing that, it appears like the stone of the wall just morphs and shapes itself into some kind of like shambling creature, and it stumbles out. Like it's still attached to the wall kind of at the waist, but it leans out and like goes to take a swipe at Vulpus. So everyone roll initiative.
Oh my god. It's our first combat except for that other one where we got teleported away.
I hope the same thing happens.
Right?
Up first, we've got Carl.
All right. All of my ninja training says to smoke bomb and run away, but this time, I think I'm going to go up and slap that thing with a nunchuck.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh, yeah. 24 to hit.
Oh, 24 hits.
6 damage, and I'll move my...
Do you have sneak attack?
Yeah, I'm a ninja, ain't I?
Shouldn't you be adding those dice onto it as well?
Yeah.
Well, this one, I'm just going to run at him with a nunchuck. There will be plenty of time for sneaking and attacking.
No, you just... it's flat-footed because it hasn't acted yet, so you should be able to just sneak attack it.
Oh, no way. Are you shitting me? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, add some more damage on that then.
Yeah.
At an
Someone should do that.
Dear Lord,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what AP it is, or what class or character he's playing.
4 damage, baby. Just like I said the first time.
So you did 10 damage.
Holy shit.
Ooh, that feels big.
Okay, so yeah, that one takes a pretty good hit. Let's see. Next up is Vulpus.
Vulpus kind of getting a surprise, but he's going to take a 5-foot step and flank with his buddy.
Okay.
Sweet.
And he's going to... Alright, rapier. Does a 6 hit, it's flat-footed.
It does not.
Oh, 8, sorry.
Still does not. And that brings us to Brunswick.
Brunswick turns around and he sees some sort of wall creature reaching out and harassing Carl and Vulpus. He's, ah! And he like whirls around like looking for somebody else to just like kind of come in and take care of this. But when they don't, and he turns around and he realizes that he's got to do something. He's going to take a 5-foot step southwest, and he's going to cast Acid Splash and hurl that acid at the monster.
Okay.
I think that's a 6 to hit. It's flat-footed touch.
It is, but it's also a 2 to hit because you're shooting into melee.
It hasn't gone yet, though, so...
You're still shooting into melee. Doesn't matter if the creature's gone yet or not.
Okay.
And yeah, either way, that's a miss.
Oh, I forgot. I also have some sneak attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, either way, that misses. So now it is the creature's turn. And
I'm sorry. Can I make a knowledge check?
yeah, sure. Knowledge religion.
There we go. That's a 12.
You know that this creature is called a Welco Finde,
A what?
Spanish.
or Welco Find. It's, I don't know. It's a weird spelling. I'll put it in the chat. Welco Finde. You know that these are malignant spirits of people that have been dead for a while, and they have, they have the ability to manifest themselves into material like stone or wood, and while they're manifested like that, they can essentially they become part of it, and they can manifest to any part of that wall where it's facing. They can go there.
Yeesh. Can I ask a question about it?
You can ask one question about it.
Even though I hate it, I'm gonna play the HP game.
Okay.
Yeah.
15.
Higher.
Really? Okay. Yeah, so Brunswick shouts, "It's a Welko Fiend Day," or it might be Welko Fiend, or Welko Fiend. I don't know. It's some Spanish or something weird. I don't know. But it can manifest out of anywhere on that wall. It's pretty hardy.
All right. And this thing is going to lash out at Carl with its claws, since it did not appreciate being bashed in the side of the head by this ninja. Ooh. Wow. All right. So does an 8 hit?
No.
Okay, but how about an 8?
I gotta double check. No to both.
All right. So this thing just swings and whiffs twice at Carl. Okay. Well, that is its turn. And next up, a new player enters the arena.
A what?
A what?
What do you mean a new player? Like an NPC?
So at this point, our silent guest, I believe it's time for him to introduce himself.
Hold on. Wait. What?
What silent guest?
Is that tarp that's been like draped over somebody this whole time? Tom, move that tarp. Who is that?
It's a
President Barack Obama?
ghost.
Hey,
Hey.
Who is? Okay, I know who it is. I'm just pretending to not know.
sorry, I tripped on the tarp.
We told him not to put it there.
Yeah,
So,
having the tarp here definitely violates those OSHA standards.
So yes, to all our dear listeners, we have brought in a new player for our War for the Crown podcast. So this right here is a fellow named Matt Talbot. He is dear old friends with Joe and Nick and Alex. They all went to high school together. They all learned how to play Pathfinder together, which kind of explains a lot about Joe's current state.
Whoa, don't
Yep.
don't put that on
Wait.
Talbot. That's,
Yeah, wait, what?
We've had
I was
15
putting it on-
years and we still can't get him to do it right.
Yeah, I wasn't putting on Talbot. I was putting on the two of you that still play all the time with him and still haven't taught him anything.
Yeah.
Okay, it has been well chronicled how hard I work at improving Joe.
Joe's a lost cause. We just kind of wing it.
We're getting off subject. Who is this mysterious second Matt?
Yes, Mr. Talbot, introduce yourself to the fine folks at home.
Well, please, Mr. Talbot's my father. You can just call me Talbot. You know what? I didn't go to college for 8.5 years to just be called Talbot. I prefer you to call me by my acquired title from my 8.5 years of college. You can call me Associate Talbot. Yes, take
Mr.
notes.
Associate Talbot. Got it.
Esquire.
The third. Yeah, did you want me to describe the character or
Well,
myself?
I'll say you describe yourself a little bit, and then then take us into the character that you're bringing to the virtual table here.
Sure. I am roughly 300 pounds soaking wet. Let's see.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's not much to it.
What do you do for
No,
a
I'm
living?
just kidding. I am a software engineer for a 3-letter organization. I am a
FBI.
Ooh.
something like that. I do a lot of work on security software for operating systems. I've been playing Pathfinder for, well, D&D and gaming in general since 3.0, D&D 3.0 first came out. So I don't even know how long that's been.
Well, I think you've been playing longer than me and Joe for sure. Maybe Axel even?
Yeah, longer than me.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So I started playing at a local gaming store where I kind of grew up. And so here's a pitch: support your local gaming stores. They're probably one of the last places a group of friends can really get together outside of your own parents' basements,
Yeah.
and go play games. So even if all you do is, buy a soda or something there, every dollar goes to keep those local businesses open, and that's important. So
Excellent.
That's cool.
So how about next? Let's hear about the character that you're bringing in here.
sure. So this is Sir Edwin Grover Talbot. Conveniently or coincidentally, Talbot is my last name in real life, and Talbot also happens to be one of the major noble houses in Taldor. So I figured why avoid the inevitable and just go ahead and more or less make myself as a character. So
How convenient.
As it
for
was,
better or worse.
as
Now-
it was prophesized.
If you're making yourself as a character, do you anticipate it being difficult to find computers in this world?
I do not. For that, I'm going to have to reach into my background skills and earlier classes that I took in fighter and cavalier for being a professional jouster for a short period of time.
What about weighing 300 pounds? Do you find that's going to be difficult?
I don't think that's a problem if you get a large enough horse.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, tell us about Sir Edwin Grover Talbot. Yeah.
Sure. So he is a human native Taldorian. Taldan. He is the third son of, is it George? Bacchus
I'm not
Talbot
Yeah.
the second. He is a duke here in Taldor, and because he is the third son, he will inherit nothing, especially now that we're kind of in the middle of a questionable point in history,
Yeah.
and Taldor's history. And so he has decided to try and make a name for himself, both in his father's eyes and in the eyes of his peers, establish himself as a knight, a military man. So with his father's blessing, he joined the military academy and spent a lot of time trying to improve his martial ability and the knowledges that a library and university would provide to give him an upper hand strategically and tactically, keeping his mind sharp as well as his sword.
Lovely. So where is this son of a bitch?
Well, let's see. Sir Edwin, for the last probably like maybe hour or two, it was about how long it took you guys to puzzle everything together in those other chambers. You have been kind of huddled in one of these side rooms off of this chamber, along with three other nobles that were at the party. You're not entirely sure what happened. Like the slaughter started, and similar to these guys, there was like a bright flash, and you woke up in this room. You know, a few seconds later, this creature like manifested itself out of this wall and attacked. And while it was busy clawing the now corpse that the other PCs found, the other lords, the other nobles, all kind of ran and hid in this room. And in that fight, you decided it was better to go with them to protect them in a defensible position than to try and fight this creature that you couldn't even really see in the darkness.
Yeah, I can't even see the room I'm in at the moment. It appears to be a very dark room.
Yes, it is pitch black. You do know there's like a door right next to you.
All right, so I can see one square in front of me.
Yeah, like it is dark. You're not gonna be able to see, but as soon as you like open the door and kind of look out, you can see light coming from around the corner to your south. It's coming from the source of the commotion that you are now hearing of people yelling and apparently nunchucks hitting stone, creatures snarling, all that.
Do I know any of the three individuals I'm in this room with? Or did I just kind of show up and they were here?
Yeah, like over the last couple hours, you've gotten to know them a little bit. You know that it is Lord Wilfin Botolis, Sir Griffiths Plastian, and Lady Gale Urbane.
I'm sorry, was that first one Sir Wilfin Buttholus?
It's Botolis or Bodles.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
for the confirmation.
Yeah, you were right.
It was Buttholus.
Bottleless. Bodiless, I think.
No,
is
you're
better.
saying it wrong, Matt.
You had it right the first time.
But these are people that you remember seeing them like walking around the party upstairs and whatnot, but they're not anyone that you were familiar with beforehand.
And you said that there was a fourth individual who we kind of fed to the creatures so that we could get away.
I mean, you didn't quite feed it to the creatures. Like, the creature attacked this guy, and like while it was busy, that allowed you guys to get away, especially since you couldn't really see it. In fact, you probably didn't even really see it. You just heard like an attack, a scream, and some like wet, squishy sounds as you ran away.
Sure. Did I happen to get that individual's name?
You did not. Didn't really have time to look around and see him.
Okay. Do I see any torches or light fixtures or anything like that in the room we're currently in?
No.
Okay.
Like, there are some, like, after feeling your way around, there are like some chairs in the room. Like, you get the idea this might have been an old waiting room for whatever used to be here ages ago. But any light sources that were here have long since been removed.
So no dimmer switches, no fancy
Yeah.
candelabras. Okay. I will draw my longsword,
Okay.
and I will.
You're an artist?
slowly- yes. I'm actually the OSHA inspector, and thinking back now that there were 4 of us, and now there are only 3. Begin slowly backtracking and kind of feeling the walls around me to try and navigate.
Like I said, as soon as you step out of this room, you can see some light peering around this corner to the south. And that is the direction that the commotion is coming from.
So it probably helps to zoom out on the map here. Yeah, I will head towards the light.
I would never go towards the light.
It takes your full turn to move there, but you round this corner and you can see 4 strangers. Maybe you recognize them from walking around the party, but it's no one you've ever met in your life. And they are attacking some creature that seems to be attached to the wall. But that brings us to Madame Ladian.
I see this guy like clomping his way around the corner and comes to a stop, and he looks at us, and I look at him. I say, you! Help us, please!
But on that note, Madame Ladian, it's your turn.
I'm going to take a 5-foot step diagonally towards the west. And then I'm going to use my hypnotic stare on this creature. So it's going to take a -2 penalty on will saving throws.
Did I identify what type of
You know
creature?
it's undead.
It's undead, okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much going to be my turn. And that lasts basically until either I decide to stare at another target or just stop the effects of it. As long as I'm still focused in on the whatever it was, the at-a-wall monster.
Yep. You are getting the feeling that your hypnotic stare is not doing too much against this thing.
Oh, okay. Still all I got.
Yep. That brings us to Carl.
Oh yeah, it's nunchuck time, and I'm still sneaking attack and flanking.
Well, you're sneaking attack because you're flanking.
That's what I mean.
All right, let's see it, buddy.
Oh, I can full attack this time? Question mark.
You can.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 'cause it's
14.
14 hits.
Sweet. 8 damage. Taste my pain.
All right.
And another 14.
Well, the other 14 also hits.
That's what I was expecting. 12 damage.
Jesus
I might be the most
Christ.
powerful ninja of all time. I'm not sure.
He can full attack. It gets 2 attacks because they're nunchucks. It's like a double weapon.
It's a double weapon, yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So, with a couple of bashes from these nunchucks, this creature like howls in pain and disappears back into the wall.
But it doesn't look like it was actually destroyed. Like, it looks like it retreated.
Well, you're not entirely sure. You know, this thing like manifests out of the wall, but you're not sure what it does if and when it is destroyed.
Okay. Brunswick will stay as far away from both walls as he possibly can, and calls across to the stranger. You there? What's your name?
Sir Talbot lifts the visor from his helmet. I am Sir Edwin Talbot, third son of George Talbot.
Do you have any idea what's going on down here?
Well, it appears you've been attacking the wall.
I mean beyond that. Like, what are we doing down here? How did we get down here?
Where is
And you
down
are?
here?
I am Brunswick Bentley Cooper. I was attending a party just about an hour ago, and it was horrible. Now we're down here.
What sort of party?
Brunswick, give me a perception check.
Oh, 20.
Yeah, you see a similar Senate aid badge pinned on Sir Edwin's coat. It is not the same as yours, but it is like similar enough that you can guess at its function.
Brunswick just like walks right up to Sir Edwin.
As he's approaching, I'm kind of looking around for person number 4 that got left behind.
You see a corpse, and that Brunswick just stepped over to get to you.
As he gets to
I
where
had to step over the corpse to get to him.
Either that or walk around it, but that would have to take you closer to the wall.
Yeah, I think Brunswick he's still disgusted by the corpse, but he is more just intrigued and like to the point about this badge. So yeah, I step over it.
as he gets to the corpse, I'll slowly step forward before he gets to the corpse as I am putting my sword away,
Okay.
and keep him from stepping over it if I can.
Yeah, I'm just walking up to you. So if you get beyond the corpse before I get to you, then
Well, I there's a corpse between you and I at this point on the floor.
right.
I kneel down and take a look at the corpse.
All right. Roll me a knowledge nobility check. Yeah, anyone who's, looking at the corpse.
I'm detecting magic.
Okay.
Specifically on that badge.
Ladian got a 22 on her knowledge nobility.
Okay. Madam Ladian, I see you got a 22. What else we got?
I got an 8.
Madam Ladian, you recognize this as a Lord Devlin Mansham.
This is Lord Mansham.
Well, I don't want to make any assumptions, so I remove my gauntlet and I check his pulse.
Yeah, he is clearly dead.
Is his cause of death apparent?
You can roll a heal check to check him out. And Brunswick, you're detecting magic, and yes, the badge that Sir Edwin is wearing is definitely magical. You are also picking up a magical aura on the corpse.
Okay. Do you want 1 or 2 spellcraft checks?
Give me 2.
Okay.
I got a 7 on the heal check, so I don't know.
So I would have rolled first for the badge on Sir Edwin and second for the magical aura on the corpse, but
Okay.
I got a natural 1 for a 10 and then a natural 3 for a 12. So yeah.
Vulpus rolled into that as well. 24 and then a 12.
Brunswick, you are not recognizing the magic on the badge, but you could make an educated guess that it functions similarly. And Vulpus, you can see that this badge works almost exactly like yours did. It had that contingency to bring it to a slightly different place. Like, you get the idea that your badges were all tied to like a specific senator who maybe had his own safe house panic room set up down here, whereas the one that Sir Edwin has was a little more generic, and this was supposed to be just like a safe haven to be sent to.
Yeah, super safe.
Do I know anything about my own badge?
Super safe.
You know that your father gave it to you at the party so that you could keep in touch while maneuvering about, but other than that, not really.
I noticed Brunswick giving it the eye over. I just pull it off and hand it to him.
I hold it in my hand and I just kind of hold it up to you and I say, "Who gave you this? Where did you get this badge?
My father.
Do you know what it does?"
It's supposed to allow me to maintain contact with my father, but he doesn't really talk much.
And to that point, Sir Edwin, you do know, like, obviously you would know, ever since you've been, like, transported down here, you have not had any contact from your father.
It's good to see that there are other survivors.
I hand the badge back to you, and then I tap the badge on my shirt. And I say, we were given similar badges during the party. Were you at the party? It was leading up to the vote to end primogeniture.
I was.
I'm not sure how we got down here, but I'm starting to think it has everything to do with these badges. And I just kind
Perhaps.
of look around.
Maybe we're just the lucky survivors. Anyways, before those wall creatures come back, Edwin stands up and he grabs one arm of Lord Mancham. And he slings the Lord's body over his shoulder. We should meet up with the other survivors. They're just ahead.
There's more.
Carl grimaces. He flinches as Lord Edwin is now handling this corpse.
Almost on cue, the other three nobles that were hunkering down with Sir Edwin kind of emerge from the darkness, like very, very cautiously, very sheepishly looking around. Like, is it over? Is it safe?
For the moment.
Stay away from the walls, though.
There's some sort of dining room or meeting room up ahead. Maybe we can seek succor there.
Lead the way.
As we're walking along, you hear Vulpus just, I fell in a catacomb tired. Woke up wondering how
not even
we
Elvis.
got here. And it
It's Johnny Cash.
sucks.
It's not even Elvis.
That's Elvis. Ring of Fire? No, that's not Elvis. It's Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
God damn, Tom.
I think I sung Johnny Cash last week too.
That's all right. You can sing whoever your heart wants.
Yeah, it's just gonna go to anywhere that sounds like Johnny Bravo.
Boy, it sounds like we've got the Archbishop of Banterbury back there.
Oh. All right. So yeah, Sir Edwin leads you all into this one of these sitting rooms off to the side.
Brunswick is immediately unimpressed at how tiny and cramped it is in here. Is expecting like a grand hall or something.
So, further down that hallway, I imagine then, is more rooms similar to this one?
Yes. When the other guys came into this room, I did mention that there were two doors on each side of the room that they could see. So on that west side, there's two doors. On the south, there was a door, one to the east and one to the west of where they came in. And on the eastern wall, there were another couple of doors. But they immediately went a little bit to the west, found that corpse, and got attacked. That's all they've seen so far.
So what do we do now?
Well, trying to map this place out in my head. We need to head, and then he points to the wall behind him, that direction. Are any of you injured?
Not that you can see on the outside.
No, I think we all walked out pretty unscathed, if you know what I mean.
I don't think I do know what you mean.
We rarely do know what he means.
I am Sir Edwin Talbot. Seems a good proper time for quick introductions.
Carl. Carl with a K. I mean C. Carl with a C. No, Carl.
Brunswick Bentley Cooper.
I reach my hand across to shake Brunswick's hand.
Vulpus Preskley and I grab your hand before.
Intercept it.
Yeah.
And I am Madam Ladian.
Reaches for your hand and then kisses the top of the hand gently.
I present it to him.
Yeah, I got the shaft on this little introduction piece.
I grab
kisses.
to Carl's hand and kiss his hand as well.
Thank you.
We gingerly touch our tips,
As is tradition.
as is tradition. Shall I lead the way?
Please. Then I steal a glance at Carl, who's been taking point this whole time, kind of looking to see if he's gonna.
I give you just a
continue doing
wink.
that.
As in,
Don't
not opening
suppose
this shit anymore.
any of you would happen to have a light source, would you?
I mean, they are all emanating lights from a spell. that
I
they've
am
cast.
the light source.
I mean, I have lights too, so pipe down there. You're not special.
Is there any distinguishing features or anything on the walls as we kind of make our way through?
Yeah, when you came in, I did mention there are I mean, now that you have some light, you can actually see better. There are chiseled stone statues of like ancient Taldan phalanx soldiers, like standing in each of the 4 corners of this room.
Does it appear as if they are of significant decor? Are they fitting some sort of theme, or is it just yeah, these will look nice in the escape room?
Yeah, it's kind of a Taldan theme. They are very big on glorifying their imperial history.
Sure.
So.
Does it look like the uniform is any different than what I'm used to seeing at the military academy?
It looks a little like older, but it's similar enough that yeah, you would recognize it as just being official Taldan army stuff. So yeah, you guys are walking down this hallway, and I'm gonna stop you here, and you hear from still within this hall, but it's around one of the corners, you can't quite see it. You just hear, "Ah, shit, it's still there!"
Like through the door next to me, or ahead of the hall and like to the right?
You, like, from where you're standing, it's like coming from the east.
Okay. Keeping the corpse of Lord, what's his name?
Lord, what's his name?
Lord Mancham. Steady with my left hand. I'm going to draw my long sword with my right, quietly and slowly.
Okay.
And then I'm not going to try to be quiet, but I'm also not going to try to be loud either. Just kind of like
walking forward.
Give everyone the hand symbol that, we're going to go slow here. And then,
with which hand? So do you drop the corpse or the sword to make that gesture?
I'm not gonna drop the weapon, but I'll just kind of like gesture with
fist bump
with the sword.
As Sir Edwin continues forward and motions for everyone else to do so. Brunswick is going to let whoever wants to pass him while he stays 5 feet away from all walls.
This seems like a sneaky job for a ninja, so Carl's gonna go up with our new friend Talbot.
All right,
for sneaking purposes.
I'll kind of gesture to Kakarl to see if he can take a peek around the corner.
That's what I'm here for. Carl nods.
Make sure you bring your stealth beacon with you. The floating ball of light that's just above your head.
Yeah, don't worry about that thing.
Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, Carl, you peek around the corner and you can't see the commotion, but you can definitely hear a struggle and a familiar voice like cursing and struggling coming from the south.
Oh, familiar voice, eh? I relay that info to the group. Hey, someone's down here. It sounds like a struggle.
Like fighting struggle?
Some kind of struggle.
Brunswick waits for somebody else to make a decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna peer around the corner.
Same thing. You can't. The light that's traveling with you doesn't go that far, but you can hear the sound of struggle, and you hear a voice like cursing and grunting in effort coming from the south.
Okay.
I do a quick head count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What if we all just ran in there and started wailing on them?
I can give us a little bit of a boost if we expect to just head right on in.
I'm gonna kind of like shimmy around Kakarl. Hello?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, hey, help! This thing's gonna fucking kill me!
Carl gives you a look like I fucking told you so.
I'm gonna just run ahead, I guess.
I'm running right with you, pal.
I'll run ahead, but stay behind them.
Yeah, Brunswick's doing the same thing.
Well, once you turn that corner...
Oh shit, it's that bitch!
You turn that corner, and Sir Edwin, you see one of those creatures coming out of the wall, and you see a very sturdily built noblewoman who seems to have a few scratches on her from the creature, but also seems like she's been like punching at it and slapping at it and trying to hold it at bay.
Okay, when I see this creature, and you said that it's like coming out of the wall, does it seem like the wall is like a tarp or like a cloth kind of a thing, and then this thing's just like pushing out of it, or does it seem like this creature is the wall?
It's a little bit of both, honestly. Like, it seems to be like made of the wall, but you don't really see the wall like warping around where it's coming out of either. It's a weird like apparition looking thing.
It's like the floor booze in Super Mario.
Do you want me to roll knowledge religion?
Sure.
21.
Okay. Well, again, you recognize this creature as a Welko Fiende. Well, because you got better knowledge, you know that these things are usually, they are like the unquiet dead that rise from people that have been intentionally walled into a structure. So like these are specifically like apparitions caused by people that are stuck within like walls and stuff and then die there. And further than that, you can ask me 3 mechanical questions about it.
Does it have any resistances?
It does not.
Does it have any DR?
It does not.
Love these questions, though.
Does it like pina coladas?
You know, it probably misses a good pina colada because it hasn't had one in a long time.
Then I'm going to get right into combat.
Let's just go ahead and get right into this. First up is Vulpus.
Vulpus is going to inspire courage.
Nice.
And for his move action, Vulpus is going to make his way over here.
Okay. All right. So next up is the Welko Fiende, and it is going to keep attacking Miss Malphine Trant because it's hungry. All right. This thing delivers a couple of quick slashes at her, and Malphine drops to the floor.
Oh no.
Sir Edwin, you are up next.
While still holding the corpse of Lord Mansham, going to step forward 5 feet and say, I, Sir Edwin Talbot, release you from your service. And I swing down at where the corpse is coming out of the wall, if there's like a thinner spot in the back.
All right, let's see that attack.
So a 16 to hit
16 definitely hits.
and 5 damage.
All right. You definitely connect. You deliver a nice cut to this thing's torso, but you do not sever it from the wall. And next up is Madame Ladian.
Alrighty. I'm going to move down to get line of sight. And I really don't have much for these undead boys. I guess I'll make a heal check on the one that just dropped. I forget the lady's name.
Malphine Trant.
Yeah, Malphine. Nobody likes Malphine.
All right, give me a heal check.
Oof. It's 2 on the die for a total of 4.
Yep, you see her laying on the ground with a good bit of blood starting to pool around her. That's about all you've got. You're not sure if she's alive or not, but it's not looking good. And Carl, you're up.
All right. I'm going to similarly attack this thing, but even cooler, like a ninja. So I'm going to acrobatics through here. Easy peasy.
All right, roll it.
Oh, I'm a ninja. Can't you just take my word for it?
I can take your word that you're attempting it. Now let's roll it.
Yeah, okay. 11. Hmm?
Yeah, that doesn't work too well.
Oh, fuck.
Does a 14 beat your AC?
Ah, it does not.
Aha. All right,
Aha.
then you may continue.
Excellent. Now, as I was saying, I totally nunchuck this thing.
Okay. You are not
And
getting
is it
sneak attack.
flat-footed?
No,
Oh,
it is not.
come on. 16.
16 hits.
4 damage.
All right.
Thunderous 4 damage.
Very good. It is feeling it. Brunswick, you're up.
Okay, Brunswick is going to move to the south and get in there with the rest of the fracas. And he sees Malphine Trant lying on the floor. He just says, "You!" And he looks up and he sees the monster. Does it look like it's the same monster, or could it be a second monster?
Well, I will say this. You know from your previous knowledge check that these things are kind of bound to one specific wall that they're interred within. And you do remember walking past a couple of doors, one just off to your east here and one on the northern side of the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that this thing wouldn't be able to like cross that doorway, like to the other wall.
Okay, so it's not even. I wasn't sure what to what extent it would count as like a wall. Like if it was just this eastern wall counted as a wall, but you're saying it could like wrap all the way around, but as soon as it hits a door or any other barrier, that's the end of its territory.
That would be a fair assumption.
Okay. All right, so Brunswick looks up at the creature, says, I think this is a second one. And he's going to cast Acid Splash and target the monster. 18 minus 4, 14 to hit.
14 beats its touch AC.
Wonderful. He takes 1 point of acid damage.
Oh no. See, you give it a little sizzle, a little burn.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings us back to Vulpus.
And Vulpus is going to run over to Lady Malphine,
Okay.
and he'll take the attack of opportunity.
This thing already made one against Carl.
Oh, okay. Makes my life easier. And he's gonna do Cure Light Wounds on her.
Okay.
7.
9.
All right, so
9.
she heals 9. And that is enough to wake her up. You cast it, and you can see those claw marks from the creature, like, close up, and her eyes flutter open. But before we go any further there, it is the creature's turn, and it's going to take a couple of swipes at Sir Edwin. That's a natural 20.
Uh-oh.
You miss.
Does a 23 hit to confirm?
Yes.
So, Sir Edwin, you take 8 damage as this thing just claws its way through your armor.
Ow.
And now for the second claw. Does a 20 hit?
Oh, Jesus
It
Christ.
does.
So you take another 4 as it rakes the opposite direction with the other claw.
Oh, boy.
So after taking a solid 12 damage from those claws, it is now Sir Edwin's turn to retaliate.
After noticing that it uses one hand at a time, I'm going to use my martial flexibility to give myself furious focus, so I do not take a power attack penalty.
Okay.
And I'm going to power attack, keeping in mind that it uses both hands separately, putting that in the back of my mind for now.
Okay.
So that's a 9 to hit. Well, 10 if you had 1, right?
Yep, 10 is not going to hit.
All right.
All right, Madam Ladian, you're up.
I still don't have anything good. I was really trying to bank on the fact that you guys would have killed this thing before it made it back to me.
Tried our best.
I mean, huddling in the corner is an appropriate strategy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay by Malphine and see if I can, I don't know, just calm her down, right?
Right. Okay. So we'll get to her in a sec, but next up we got Carl.
All right, let's party.
Take
Fighting
that 5
nunchucks.
foot. Nope. Take that 5 foot step, Carl.
Don't tell Carl how to play his character.
Yeah, I think Carl knows how to play his character, okay? I take a 5 foot step. Full attack, baby. Strap in.
Oh, boy.
19. That hits.
Yes,
3
it does.
damage. 22. That also hits.
Uh,
4 damage.
Is that
Roll
3
sneak
damage?
attack,
Yeah.
dummy.
I thought you said I couldn't sneak attack him.
You're flanking him.
You weren't
What-
flanking
who
him
told-
before.
Because of the flank. Right. Just keeping you guys on your toes. Just keeping you guys on your toes. An extra 3 and an extra 2.
So
not
you
on my
did
toes at
6
all.
damage and then 6 damage. So once again, with a couple of quick slaps with his nunchucks, this creature lets out a wail and disappears back into the wall.
Now we gotta fight a
Now we gotta
whale?
fight a. Yes! Right there with you. Yes.
High five.
Can I roll
High five.
a sense motive on that? Is it retreating or did it die?
Roll it, go ahead.
15?
From your previous knowledge and from what you're gathering, you sense that you have effectively defeated the thing. If it does possess an ability to regenerate, you know it's going to be out of commission for a good while.
Okay.
You have a good period of safety here.
Brunswick is going to offer a hand to Malphine Trant to help her up, but he does so with like not quite a grimace, but his face says very clearly that nothing has changed. Our current situation has not changed his opinion of her, but he still offers a hand to help her up.
Do you want me to roll knowledge nobility?
Sure.
24.
All right. You are definitely aware of Malphine Trant. You know that her father is a relatively influential senator who was very much against tonight's vote to end primogeniture. And you remember from the party, you remember her wandering around being pretty drunk and being very vocally against the vote and trying to badger a lot of people into voting against it.
Is she anyone of consequence besides her title of, is it lady?
Yeah. She would be Lady Malphine.
Is she like promised to marry like a marquis or something like that? Or is her title and my title more or less equivalent?
The two of you are roughly equivalent. It's one of those, like, I think she's more of like a firstborn, but she's also a woman, so that kind of evens out in Taldor right now.
Right, but she could, if she's promised to someone who is of higher nobility, then she very, very well may surpass my title.
She could, yeah.
Okay. Seeing that people are helping her up, I will also assist.
Does she take my hand?
She does. She takes it fairly roughly and like almost pulls you down in her effort to pull herself up. But she stands up and she just like starts wiping off the front of her dress and then like the back of her dress. She's like, of course I'd run into you guys again. What are you doing down here?
Lady Trant, it's an honor.
Who are you?
Sir Edwin Talbot.
Oh, Talbot. Did your dad vote for the thing tonight?
I imagine he casted his vote, my lady, but not sure which direction.
I don't suppose you know what's going on, Trent.
I don't know anything. I was up there in the gallery, and all of a sudden I start seeing swords swinging, and I wake up down here. I wake up with that. Where's that guy? Where is he?
When Brunswick calls her Trant instead of Lady Trant, he kind of like smacks the back of his leg with his scabbard.
Does she have one of the senator badges on?
I was about to ask that.
She does have a badge on, yes.
And Brunswick would throw a look back at Sir Edwin. Like, what?
And she's looking around. She's like, hey, Zubari, where are you? And Vulpus, from behind you, you would hear that door open. And standing in the doorway, there is what looks to be a priest standing there. And he kind of nervously looks out. Is it safe, my lady? She looks at him. Yeah, it's fine. They took out that thing. Although they didn't do it fast enough. Almost cost me my life.
You're welcome for the heal, by the way.
Yeah, if you'd gotten here sooner, you wouldn't have had to do it in the first place.
Or we may have just needed to wait until it moved on and just left your cold, rotting corpse here to plug up these walls.
Well, some gentleman you are.
Oh, I'm not.
Brunswick kind of distances himself from this whole conversation. He's like right in the middle of the center of the hallway, like as far as north or east and west goes. He's just kind of like staring at the door that would go into the center, because he's walked around this whole hallway now. So like it looks like there's just this giant room in the center that this hallway is surrounding, and he's just kind of like got his arms crossed and he's just staring at that door like he's not going to open it. But he wants to know what's on the other side of it.
If it pleases you, milady, we're escorting some of the other nobles that have sought refuge down here out. You and your entourage are more than welcome to take advantage of the escort.
Give me a diplomacy check.
23.
She looks around. She looks at like the wall where the creature disappeared, and looks at all of you and like.
I put my sword away and I extend my hand to her.
She like shakes it almost like, she shakes it like a man would. Like, yeah, nice to meet you. And you know what? I think I probably would be better off with you guys than waiting here for those things to come back.
All right.
And from that doorway, the priest, she called him Zubari. He goes, I think I would prefer to wait here. If you have need of my services, you could find me here, but until I know the way is clear, I would only be in your way.
My lady, if he's part of your entourage, I would not recommend leaving your servants unattended down here.
Oh, he ain't one of mine. He just wound up down here the same time I did, and we've been hiding in that room.
I'm going to take a look at that guy.
Okay.
Just a quick once-over. Are there any distinguishing features or anything like that?
Like I said, he's dressed like a priest. You can give me a quick knowledge religion.
17?
Yeah, you would easily recognize the holy symbol of Abadar on his clothing.
Is there any specific religious title within Taldor?
No, just father or cleric or whatever is fine. Like,
Father Zubari, would you mind taking a look and anointing my armor for me, please?
well, I would, good sir, but I'm afraid services like that do come with a price.
Damn Abadar priests.
A price that could be paid now?
Indeed.
What of?
Why, gold, of course.
To the amount of?
What are you asking him to cast? Like, are you casting a spell or just like a quick blessing or what?
Heal.
You're looking for a heal?
Yeah.
Okay. The customary rate is, where is it? 10 gold for a first level spell.
What are you asking for from him over there?
Services from Abadar. Since we are likely to come across more of these creatures, I want to ensure that my physical shape is as good as it can be as we move further into the unknown.
Oh, were you hit?
I was.
Oh, well,
Yeah, like really hard.
you
It was
know,
horrible.
instead of yeah. Instead of asking from such a lowly priest who apparently requires funding in order to cast spells, I, on the other hand, will grant you it for free.
Very, very likely I will need that in the near future. And if Father Zabari insists on staying down here until the area is clear, there's no point in exerting yourself now when we can just pay from my father's coffers and get the services now. As I need to be in my top physical form, I would hope that you are able to maintain and conserve your resources as well. I pull out, did you say it was 10 gold?
Yes.
10 gold plus 1 gold as a donation to the Church of Abadar.
Okay. So, he whispers a quick prayer to Abaddon, and you heal 9 HP.
Excellent.
Yes, and I'll remain here if you require any further services. Abadar will help anyone for the right price. What's everyone else doing?
Brunswick is still staring at that door, hoping that someone will take the hint.
Someone goes up to the door and tries to open it.
I'll go.
Oh, perfect. I shoot Brunswick another wink and whisper, "This guy does it all. How great is this?"
Brunswick gives you a nod and grin.
So you open this door and look in, and in here, you see a long table. Its surface covered in green felt stands at the center of this rectangular chamber. Silver trays dot the table's surface, each hosting a set of crystal glassware and a tall decanter of wine. Doors exit to the north and south. The south door is where you just came in.
Did you say decanters of wine?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He's not an alcoholic.
You know,
Look.
centuries-old wine that's been decanting for centuries.
Yeah, well, you know,
Decanted wine, 100-year.
Brunswick goes in and inspects the decantered wine.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the room a once around.
All right.
Get that perception.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it if you want. You can go ahead and check the wine. It has long since, gone very sour.
I wrinkle my nose after I give it a little sniff, and I put it back where I found it. shaking my head sadly.
Also, anyone who wants to can give me an appraise check.
I could do that.
I would like to. Wow.
17 appraise.
Just the normal 7.
All right. So, Carl, you're looking over this, like, the silver trays and the crystal glassware all over this table, and you were thinking, like, I could probably get, like, 700 gold for this stuff.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. It's nice,
Oh.
valuable stuff.
I
And,
see.
Madam Ladian, doing your detect magic, you're getting some magical auras coming from a document box sitting on the center of the table.
Nice. I'm going to roll a spellcraft against it. Oh,
Uh-oh.
natural 1.
You roll the natural 1 and realize that the magic is coming from inside the box, not the box itself.
Oh, Carl, I believe there could be some magic items of interest inside that box if you'd like to take a look.
I would like to take a look.
Good,
I flutter my fingers.
because I was not able to discern if it was good magic or bad magic.
All right, so, Carl, you open the box, and there's just a bunch of papers in there.
What's in the box?
It's just a bunch of papers. I start rifling through.
As he's rifling through, Madeline, you can see that several of those sheets of paper are detecting as magical.
Oh, Carl, I believe the paper is the magic items.
Oh. I just hand the box to you. I don't... Unless it's something for me to, write over and give to somebody. I'm not interested in papers.
Is there any distinguishing seals or symbols or anything on any of the sheets as he was thumbing through them?
No, and just from going through, like, just about everything in here they're magical scrolls.
All
Like,
of them, or?
Yeah, there aren't even any real, like, actual documents in here. So I see people are doing spellcrafts. What do we got?
Oh shit, I do have read magic.
I do have
prepared.
read magic.
I read it first.
Well, there are several, so you kind of divide them up and start reading through. And between the two of you, in this box, there is a scroll of Breath of Life,
Oh my god.
3 scrolls of Cure Light Wounds, a scroll of Invisibility, and a scroll of Summon Monster 2.
I'm suddenly interested in those pieces of paper.
Yeah. What lists are they coming off of?
Yeah, are these
Spell
divine scrolls or
Breath
of Life
Breath of
and-
Life and Cure Light Wounds are divine.
Mm-hmm.
The Invisibility and Summon Monster are arcane.
Wow. Yeah, Brunswick, he's looking at these scrolls, and he's especially the Breath of Life one. And he's just, this is quite a find. I don't know. And he like looks at Madam Ladian and Vulpus, and he says, I know that you two are magically inclined, but I won't make any assumptions. He picks up the Invisibility and Summon Monster 2 scrolls, and he says, these would be of particular use to me.
I have no qualms with that.
Edward's watching Kakarl just kind of like eye all of that silver on the table.
Yeah. As a ninja, I feel like I could sleight of hand here, but also I'm sort of in a predicament where I need you people. So Carl's gonna behave for now.
I'm going to give him the approving nod.
And we're a great find. I nod right back to you. You're my boy.
Is there anything interesting about the silverware besides the fact that it's just silver?
No, it's a very fine set of silver and crystal glassware.
Does Kakarl have a backpack?
Ooh, this is messy.
Yeah.
Ninjas don't usually have backpacks.
At least not when they were attending a party.
Yeah.
Is there a piece of the silverware set that's particularly big?
Probably the biggest piece would be either like the silver tray or maybe like one of the crystal decanters with the wine in them.
I'm going to grab one of the silver trays.
Okay.
So I've got one arm holding the deceased Lord Mancham, and the other is holding the silver platter tray.
Okay.
Brunswick is going to hand the 3 scrolls of Cure Light Wounds to Vulpus. He's seen him cast those spells before. These are scrolls of divine magic, and I hand them to you.
Not very much into divinity. Maybe the new guy, Talbot, knows more. Can I cast from those?
So, since it's divine magic, you can't, and you're an arcane caster, it's not an automatic thing, but you can still use it much easier than basically anybody else.
I was going to say,
okay.
Cure Light is part of your repertoire.
Yes, but if it's specific for a scroll, if it's written as a divine spell, then there is, like, I think a caster level check you need to make at one point, but if I recall, it's super easy.
Call over to Talbot. Do you still need any healing?
Absolutely.
I pull out one of the scrolls.
Roll a caster level check, which is just a d20 plus 2.
That's a 3.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not gonna do it.
So you need to emulate a class feature, it's a use magic device check.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Your effective level in that class is your result minus 20.
Oh.
So it's a super hard check, not a super easy check. You need to make a use magic device check and need to get a 21 on that use magic device check, because your caster level in a divine class is equal to your use magic device check minus 20. And as Cure Light Wounds, you need a caster level of 1. And you can't even make a use magic device check unless you have at least 1 skill rank in it.
I do.
Okay. So you can give it a shot.
Well, I just rolled that, but knowing all this now.
So here's how it works. If you make that check, then you're basically in the clear. If you fail, you can try again in a round. But if you roll a natural 1, you can't try again until tomorrow.
Yep. All right. Well, I rolled a natural 1, so.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
you could try on one of the other scrolls.
That's true. There's 3 of them.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
I will say the scroll is not expended when you fail.
Oh, okay.
You just can't,
all right. That's what made me nervous. Okay. All right. So skills. Use magic device. All right. That was a 19 that time. Oh my god.
And probably just start spamming it
Yeah.
until you get a natural 1.
Or beat the DC. There you go.
All right.
3rd time's the charm.
4th time.
So roll a 1d8 plus 1.
1d8 plus 1.
I
I hate this. Ugh. 2.
Every little bit helps.
Especially at this level.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we doing next?
Brunswick watched Vulpus just kind of like
Fumble
around, like just like wring out the scroll, like, oh, maybe that, and he's kind of like whips it like a blanket. No, let me try another way, and finally gets it.
You just barely see like any level of results.
Yeah, and he kind of turns to the rest of the group and says, "Perhaps we should move on."
Sounds good to me.
Do we still have Sir Wilson Batellus and Lord Griffith and Lady Gail Urbane behind us?
They kind of followed you around the room a little bit, but when you went to go fight that other Wilco Fiende in the bottom, in the southeast part, they kind of ran back to the room and hid again. You get the feeling they're probably not going anywhere anytime soon, at least until they know the way is clear.
Okay.
So what's the plan?
I believe there was another doorway to the in the north.
Did someone say doorway to the north? I open it this time.
Very good, Carl. I was referring to the next door, farther up, though.
Farther up?
Across the hallway.
Yeah.
So as you exit the conference room, you see a halfling standing off to the east.
That's
the
right.
one time I don't poke my head through, I just walk through the door.
Yeah.
There's someone standing right, like 10 feet to my right, ready to murder me, presumably.
That's right, folks. We're bringing in a new player.
Shut up. So the halfling, he's got a rapier, but he doesn't look threatening right now. He's just kind of standing there. Looks like he was waiting for you guys to come out. He looks at you all and gives you a nice deep bow, and he says, "We'll see you next month." On the War for the Crown podcast from Inspired Incompetence.
What a stupid thing for him to say.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya. See ya.